Hey guys, welcome back to the video you guys have all been waiting for. What you're looking at here is the first section of my Facebook Friends Motif Afghan. I have done this one. I laid out all my squares according to how I wanted them, row by row. That way I didn't get so much of a color cluster problem going on. I separated them because apparently a lot of you like pink and purple, so I had lots of pink and purple, so I had to make sure that I went through and didn't have them all put together. So as you see what I've done, what I chose to do, and this piece is done, this is only half done. I had chosen to go around and put a white single crochet border around each square. Okay, you think it's going to be really time consuming? It's not really that bad. I'm already halfway done with that. But what I found, if I didn't put a border around, a single crochet border around each one of them, when I went to do the whip stitching, it just was going to have a lot of gap. It was going to be real spacey, and this is something that I want to be able to pass down to my kids and have it to last, you know, pretty much forever if it's in good care. So basically all I did, I don't need to show you how to do a single crochet border. You should know how to do that by now. But I single crocheted a border, and what I did is I have 9 different stacks. This one's got all the borders on them, and you hear my kitten in the background, one of them. These have all been put borders on. Okay, so what I did is I laid it out on the floor row by row, and then I picked up the beginning row, put it in a pile, and then I labeled it which row it was. This was my second row. That way that nothing gets mixed up and I know where they're going. So then what I did is I put a single crochet border around them, and then I have Haley, one of my daughters, is helping me weave in those few ends. And then I'll put that back, and then basically what you'll do at that point is you'll start joining that row with what I did is a whip stitch. Now a lot of you have a concern of the whip stitch being secure enough and holding it. Well, the whip stitch alone, in my opinion, is not going to do it for me. Like I said, I did attempt it, but this is what I come up with when I did the single crochet row and then I whip stitched them together. That is a very beautiful combinational stitch in my opinion. So yeah, I have ends here, they're not done because I need those to tie off when I join the next row. But I'm joining lengthwise. Lengthwise, yeah, I believe that's correct. So I'm laying, I have a picture of it on my Facebook. They're being laid sections all the way down, and then I'm just working them in panels, and then I will join the 9 or 10 panels. I don't know, I've got so many numbers in my head. I'll join the panels, you know, side by side. That'll do the width part of it. So anyway, I found that the whip stitch along with a single crochet border around each square worked beautifully, and it makes it look like I have crocheted rows in between and then connected, which I didn't do that. All I did was put a single crochet border around each square and then join them. So I'm going to show you on one square how to do your whip stitch. The first thing that you're going to do is you're going to take your 2 squares that you're going to join, okay, and I gotta flip my row over. Here we go. Okay, so basically you have your square, okay. That's still not right. I'll flip it back. I had it right the first time. Alright, so you're going to take your 2 squares, okay, and you can do this in singles or doubles or triples. Basically I take a long piece of yarn and I cut it. I use the biggest eye needle as far as metal that I do have. And what you're going to do, you're going to take your 2 squares, make sure that they're turned the right way. There is a right and a wrong side to this, believe it or not. If you turn it this way, you see it's kind of flat along the petals, but if you turn it this way, it's kind of indented. This is for my motif. Now your motif may be a different motif. Okay, so let me down a little bit. So what I did is you take them. Some of them may have to stretch according to your yarn, so you may have to do a little stretch in there. So what I did is I started on the corner, I put 2 single crochet on each corner. Okay, so I'm going to start with the furthest corner or stitch on that corner and the furthest stitch on this corner, which is going to be right here. You're going to go to both of them, and then you're just going to pull your yarn through, and you're going to leave about a 2-inch draw there. Then you're going to go back and you're going to go right into the next 2, and then you're just going to make that whip stitch. You're not going to pull real tight. You don't want that to pull so tight that it's going to leave you an indent. You want this to come out to lay even and level. So then you're just going to go into the next one and pull it just snug, nothing where it's going to choke to death your stitches. And then you'll just keep doing this all the way across. Keep your stitches lined up, and you should, even if you're off a stitch on some of these, it's really not even going to matter. You know, so you do have a little forgiveness with this. So, you know, you're just going to keep going, and we're going to go all the way to the end here. Alright. And like I say, you may have extra yarn here by the time you get to the end. Just clip that off and evaluate it. If you have enough to do one more square, then go for it. What I have found is I've had enough every time I cut to do at least 2 squares per strand. I'm trying to get 3 out of it, but it just seems to go with the 2. So, but that's fine. But again, you're just going to go all the way across here. You want to stay level, okay? And I'll meet you back up almost at the end, and I'll show you how to finish that off. Alright, I am almost at the end, and where I'm going to have you to finish off at is going to be the same place that you started at. Okay, so you want to make sure to go through the 2 that the 2 that you did in the corner. So that's going to be that one that I just did, and then here's your second one of that corner. Okay? Now, once you get to this end one, you can hold this up and see if that's going to close it up good enough there, right here. You don't want a big V here, okay? But part of that will be taken care of once you join. And that one's going to be fine, so before I pull this all the way, I'm going to go in that last hoop, and I'm going to pull that, and what that's going to do is that's going to automatically knot that for me. Okay? And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut that, and then I'll have enough to do the next one, maybe, maybe not. I don't know how much I cut. So then what you want to do is you kind of want to stretch it out a little bit, and you will have this here that you might want to tie into a small knot so it doesn't come out, but all of this will go together. But you want to leave some strand because you do want to join these and have enough to join when you start going down sideways. Okay, so that's the look that you get doing it the way that I have recommended. Now then you're going to pick up your next square, and then you're going to hold those together, and then you're just going to start again. Okay, you're going to get over here to the very corner, which is the second one of that corner, and then you're just going to pull, and you're just going to work your way back across. And this is a very simple technique to do. To me, it's been the best technique that I have found that works. I've been contemplating it all week, but I am very happy with the way that this has turned out. But as I said, if you don't add that single crochet, and I know it's more work, but if you don't add that single crochet border in whatever color you choose, I chose basic white, then I'm afraid you're not going to be happy with the results if you just go through and just do a plain whip stitch. There's not a whole lot of choices of how to join. You know, there's 4 or 5, I think, but me, I would just rather do it correctly the first time and get the result that I want the first time that I do it, instead of getting through it, oh, this doesn't look right, and you've already gone through a whole panel, and then you have to frog it and say, you know, that didn't look right, I should have went with my gut. So that's what I was doing last night. Spread yourself a nice little area out on the floor, give yourself enough room to work and to analyze. And when you're working a very important project like this, it's best to just take your time and do it correctly, because it's a lot of hard work that goes into these. A lot of time, devotion, and a lot of hard work. And you know, you just want to make sure that you're happy with it. So that's my personal opinion to everybody. Just make sure that you do it the way you want it done the first time. You don't want to mess with them so much to where they get so bent out of shape that no matter how you do them, you know, it's going to turn, you know, it's going to make them look bad the more that you mess with them. Basically, they're going to get all stretched out of proportion, and they're going to look like they've been extremely messed with. Okay, so I'm at the end of this one. So if I'm happy with that, I can go right underneath this last one. My little kitty wants me. Hello, baby. And then you're just going to knot that. And then you're going to pull that back out. And there you have it. So again, you can choose at this point to weave this in and out of here and make this one end disappear and not even have to worry about weaving it if you want. So you weave it in there, then you cut it and it's gone. Okay? So this is my recommendation of how to do your Facebook Friends Afghan or any other Afghan of squares that you look to join. So just keep that in mind as you're working it. Just go through and get the best idea for you and the Afghan that you're doing. And you know, it may not work for the square you're doing. You never know. It's trial and error when it comes to joining and things like that, in my opinion. In my professional opinion, as a crocheter, I find the best way to figure something out is trial and error. You know, and to just explore what works best for you, because what someone else says is the best way may not be the best way for you. So you have to figure that out on your own. And that's why I only give you suggestions. I don't say, well, this is the way to do it. You know, this is not the way to do it. If you want it done this way, then do it this way. That's your prerogative. Okay? So I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. If you have any other questions, you can look me up on Facebook under Stitchinstacy's Crochet. You can also email me at stitchinstacy@yahoo.com, or you can leave a message underneath the video. I will get back to you as soon as I can on any questions or concerns about that. So this is the last time that I'm going to video this until it's in its completion. So once I get this completed, I can't give you a time. It may be by this weekend, it may be by next weekend, I don't know. I'm extremely busy with other projects. Right now I have 5 Afghans that I'm working on, and my tutorials and everything else. So just bear with me, and as soon as it's complete, you will know. Until next video, happy hooking.